Eagerly lazy. Today, what we're going to talk about is the difference between eager loading and lazy loading in your RIA services. And I've got, I've got an example application here, which may or may not decide to actually run as it moves up in excruciatingly slow speed here. It uses Windows Azure Tables as the back end. The Silverlight application on the front end. Thinking about starting, we'll get there any day. But let's just talk a minute while this comes up about the difference between eager loading and lazy loading. Eager loading means when you have an object graph with associations. In this case, we're going to be doing departments and employees in the department. So if you think of department as the master, if you will, got departments like IT, finance, et cetera. And then I've got employees, Bob, Mary, Joe, et cetera. And I have employees that are members of the department. In an eager load situation, when I bring down the department, I would also bring down all the employees that are in that department. In a lazy load situation, I bring down the departments and basically hooks to find the employees, but I don't actually bring down the employees until I need them. So it's a fundamental difference between a lazy load. Let's see, this is really fun. So let me make this a little smaller. Okay, great. So right now we're in a lazy load situation. Lazy load, and you know that. I'm over here. This is Fiddler. For those of you who don't know Fiddler, God's gift to, let's restart this real quick. Absolutely God's gift to debugging web applications. All right. So what I have here is a list of departments with some big old crazy keys. That's actually the primary key or the primary ID for these tables in Windows Azure table storage. You don't get the nice little integer ID. That doesn't work very well. And when I click on a department, what I'm supposed to get, and what I do get, if you notice there's going to be a slight delay. Again, let's see. There's a little delay as it just kind of blanks and we get the employees coming down. This is a lazy load. Okay, so I'm only getting the employees when I click on a department. I've got this over here so I can actually switch this to an eager load. And what happens now, I don't know if you can see this, but when I click on these, they're very fast. Okay, I can show you this in Fiddler. You can see the difference where they start coming down. The question of the day is, how does one actually get this to work in your application? Okay, the key to all of this is right in here. The key to all of this is right in here. This magic little include. Typically, if you were doing RIA services and you decorate, you have an association which links the two tables together. If you put an include in there, that typically means eager loading. So RIA services will all by itself, when it packages up the departments and ships them down, it will automatically package up and ship the employees. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you want to look at it, Windows Azure Tables, as a back-end data store, does not support associations. So you have to do it all yourself. So the nice thing is I can actually put that little include there. And I go into my domain service. Let's try this. And all of this. Fire. Okay. All right. Let me hide. Here's the key in all of this. So with Windows Azure Tables, it's a totally roll your own environment. Totally roll your own environment. If you would like to get eager loading, you come in here and see couple of interesting things. First thing is, Azure tables do not support projections and link. So you can't just do your query and then select into a new object like your presentation model. So you actually have to wind up iterating these and creating a collection to return back to RIA. And because this is actually either load is actually a boolean that's passed in here. So I'm reading my departments. I'm going to create my presentation model from that. And then if I'm doing an eager load, that was a request object, I will actually go out and right here on the spot request those employees and package them in with the departments, and then RIA ships them back down to the client. This is tremendously exciting. The thing that's interesting, the thing that's consideration is, when you do eager loading, you're doing a lot more database I/O up front, on the server side on the initial call, and you're shipping a lot more data down to the client side. When you do a lazy load, but it's work up front and data and bandwidth, but that gives you a little bit more performance on the client side. Very snappy because all the data is there. You don't have to go get it. In a lazy load situation, it's very handy when you have either a lot of data that you're sending down already, or you don't need to get all those employees. I just want to get them. It's kind of pulling on demand as needed. Okay, which gives you, it's a little bit slower each time you access that data, but overall, your application is a lot more, I would say, efficient in terms of utilizing server resources and utilizing bandwidth. I can actually, I'll just give you wrap this up here quickly. This was, you can start to see these. This last example, when we were in eager loading, look at how much data came down on that call relative to some of the other calls, which were all very small. Those are the lazy loads. So it really does make a difference. In this trivial example with 10 rows of data, it doesn't matter. Okay? But if you're dealing with a lot of data, it really matters. So I would say when you are designing your applications, give some thought. Do you want to be eager or do you want to be lazy? And I'd say most of the time in real business applications, lazy is a good thing. It seems to fit developers' natural tendencies just in general. And with that, I will draw to a close here. Mr. Postmaster, thank you.